We are just hours away now from the launch of America's newest cable network. ABC teaming up with the Spanish powerhouse Univision. The channel is called Fusion, delivered in English and reaching out to America's young people, the so-called millennials on the move. And Fusion is chasing them. As the sun sets in Miami tonight, there'll be more than the nightlife taking form. America's newest cable network is about to be born. It's called Fusion. ABC and Spanish-language giant Univision teaming up. So these are the new days?
Yeah, this is it.
The most famous anchor many of you have never heard of. Because when Diane is on with ABC World News, Jorge Ramos is on at the same time with millions watching him too, in Spanish. The change now, when he says goodnight on that show, he'll walk about 30 steps to his new show in English. And who does he have in mind? The children and grandchildren of the viewers he's had for years. Younger viewers, born and raised here in America, the so-called millennials, viewers 18 to 34, and his own kids who until now haven't had much interest in watching their dad in Spanish.
They don't watch me in Spanish because they feel much more comfortable in English. Finally, they're going to be able to see what I do. Reaching them, reaching their friends, and reaching their generation.
The cable channel Fusion hopes to do for news what Modern Family has done in prime time, helping to entertain and now inform the evolving American family. Jorge is known for his tough questions, pressing President Obama on immigration reform.
Because this is very important. I don't want it to get lost in translation. You promised that. And a promise is a promise. And with all due respect, but you didn't keep that promise.
Well, here's what I would say, Jorge, is that...
Questions often unnoticed because they were in Spanish, no longer lost in translation. First up, Senator Ted Cruz. After leading the government shutdown, Jorge asks him if there's another plan, a run for president.
You were born in Calgary, in Canada. So can you run for president? The Constitution says you can't.
Right. Well, I was born in Calgary. My father's Cuban. My mother's American. My mother was a U.S. citizen by birth, and so under U.S. law, I was an American citizen by birth. Those are the facts.
So you think you are a natural-born citizen?
I was a U.S. citizen by birth.
And there's Fusion anchor Alicia Menendez, who was on The View this last week, diving into hot topics. One of them, Melissa McCarthy, who was covered up by that trench coat on the cover of Elle magazine.
It is an unreasonable expectation and pressure that we place on young girls and women to look perfect.
She'll be doing that every night on Fusion after those American millennials on the move and multicultural. 1 in 5 millennials Hispanic. And by the year 2050 in this country, 1 in 3 Americans will be Latino. Just a couple of numbers to keep in mind, and nothing like a little pressure inside this newsroom. They have these countdown clocks everywhere you look, reminding everyone here that the launch is tomorrow. The network, of course, is Fusion. They hope to have 20 million viewers in the first year, 60 million in 5 years, and check your local listings to see if it's airing in your city right now, your hometown. And let us know what you'd like to see on Fusion. Tweet us and use the hashtag #ThisIsFusion.